Here's the final product, and I'll show you how I did it. Made a 3D rendering of the stair tread. After cutting these out on the CNC plasma table, we ground it down and then bent it. Made these tabs on the side because my bender couldn't get to them. Finish welded it out and then grinded it all flush. Here are all the stair treads finished. Then we moved into the center beam. We marked all the spots we needed to cut, and then we plasma cut those. Ground it all flush so when we go to weld our base plate on there, we don't have any cracks. Sometimes when you cut these out, you have to trim it off a little bit more and a little bit more. When I mocked this up in the CAD, I set this angle around, I believe it was 39 degrees, so making sure it's 39. A little trick I like to do is putting a base plate clamped onto the bottom of the square tubing, and then it'll set the plate right on top and it'll put it right where it needs to be. Making sure it's all level and square, and then tacking it all up. Here are all the stair treads going into place. Like I said, I did this in CAD, so that all fit up nicely. Hitting it all with a quick primer, and then the customer will paint it when it's in place. Here are these 3x3 by 1/4 inch posts. They're going to be the columns to hold up the landing. Here we are cutting them out to size. They're around 9'6" each. These are the base plates that go into the concrete, and then the other side is going to be the top plates that connect to the landing. I like to draw these lines on two sides so it can tell me where the post needs to go right in the middle. Here they are all welded out, and then we're going to wire brush these later to get the rust off. Here is the landing plates. We are marking them out at 45s. Getting these all cut out for a nice 45 so it can make a square. Before making the square, I like to clean up my welding table, grind off all the boogers so it's nice and flat. Grinding all the edges so it can sit nice and flat and get better penetration for the welds. Making sure it's nice and square before I tack it all together. One of these pieces was an 1/8 inch too long, so here I am grinding it down so I can fit it in place. I like to tack in a bunch of places so it holds when I flip it and weld it. The welds don't have to be the prettiest because they all get ground down. Here I am grinding it all flush with just a normal flap disc. I think it was 60 grit. These are the connection plates that will be mounting to the steel columns. This weld was nice and easy because it was a fillet weld. After I got the landing all finished up, we moved on to the handrail. Here I am cutting the posts out for it to mount into the stair treads. All these posts mount into the middle of the stair tread like I drew out in CAD. Cutting out the bottom piece so the pickets can line up in place. Here I am struggling to get it over so I can test fit it just to make sure everything fit up. Looks all good, so now I'm going to finish it all up. These pickets were cut at a 50-degree angle, so here I am cutting with the grinder. Made a 4-inch spacer for the pickets with a 1/4-inch shim underneath. I like to tack them all in place and then I finish weld them out afterwards. Here I am finished welding them all out, all around, so that no rust spots happen. Just flipped it over so I can get the other side. Didn't get footage of this part, but cleaned everything up, painted it all, and then got ready for transport. After backing my truck up into a place to use my auto crane, here's me and my friend lifting the landing up into place, and then we're going to bolt that together and stand the columns up. The concrete was slightly soaked, so the columns didn't fit perfectly, so I had to be some shimming. This is the first column in place. Now mounting it to the existing wall. Using 5" by 3/8" lag screws. Now we're using the auto crane and a dolly to shim it into place. Once we got the top bolted in, then we lifted the bottom off the dolly and got everything bolted and lag screwed into the concrete. Getting everything tightened down and ready to go. Here we are lifting the handrail in place and putting the bottom tread on, and then we tacked everything up, made sure it was all level. Then we put the landing handrail in place too. Here I am welding everything in place, and we're using flux core 035 wire. Welding the handrails in place. Didn't feel like bringing a ladder, so I just reached over and welded the other sides. After welding, we ground it all smooth, primered it so the customer was ready to paint. And here we are with the finished product. Thanks for watching.